Beruthiel's Watch. Named in honor of the last great queen of Gondor. Shunned by all who knew her despite her pure Númenórean ancestry, she resorted to spying on the Gondorians using cats as her agents. In time, her husband, King Taranon, came to despise her and sent her back to our people on a ship with a cat on the prow, banishing her from Gondor forever. There is then some wonderful irony that the very name of the woman Gondor sought to forget will now be held in honor forevermore. For the men charged with holding Beruthiel in honor have slain Gondor's second greatest threat. The Witch King of Angmar is dead. I had never given thought to what might happen when a Nazgul dies. I suppose I might have suggested that they would unleash some form of furious storm as their spirit is forced from whatever corporeal form they actually have. I would never have suggested that they pass like a whisper on the wind. The Witch King's army was caught off guard on the slopes leading down from the great base of Barad-dur. He had come to retake the Dark Tower, but had not factored in the speed with which our reinforcements had come through from Gondor. He did his best to outmaneuver our forces and take what hill advantage he could, but the longer range of our siege machines and the keen eyes of our archers forced him to abandon the hilltop and meet us in a small dell. There, our strength and superiority shone through. His orcs, though terrified of their Nazgul lords, could not hope to match our finest sons, and we men of Númenor slew countless. The Witch King quickly saw that our greatest strength lay in our keen crossbows and our leadership. Our king, His Eminence Ar-Gimilcard, positioned himself behind our lines, but Gimilthon commanded the crossbow companies on our left and flank. Late in the battle, the Witch King saw an opportunity to ride down Gimilthon, and he pressed his traitorous entourage forward. True-blooded Númenóreans bearing down on true-blooded Númenóreans. Such a shame. Gimilthon had no cover from the speed of those horse, but with time to spare, Imrazor, commander of Beruthiel's Watch, ran his company into the charge of the oncoming Nazgul, and before melee could be joined, he fired a dart from his crossbow so straight and true that it knocked the demon from his horse mid-charge. I'll not forget the sight of a seemingly empty cloak flying through the darkened skies, forced onwards by some invisible wind. When the cloak finally hit the ground, there was nothing. No storm, no screams, no fury, just a lifeless cloak laying on the ground. The great mace that the Witch King was wielding decayed before our eyes, lines of metal breaking away as the wind washed over the great weapon. The Witch King was dead, but his army fought on. Seeing that the Watch were now hapless to resist the might of our traitor brothers, Kimmel brought his company of Pharazôn's pikes round to save the Watch, and just in time, the traitors were put down. Seeing their commander disappear into nothingness also sent a panic through the orc lines, and a panic like I have never seen. I have fought in countless battles where the leaderless orcs began routing in chaos. Time and time again do they run from our swords, but I hadn't seen anything like this. They almost killed each other in their attempts to get away. Wounded orcs were trampled into the earth by their own kin, and many of them were seen holding their heads as if their ears were being split by some terrifying scream. The Witch King, though, was not alone, of course. Gan Altan was also on the field that day. And we knew the stories of Gan Altan, the Honoured, he calls himself. We knew of his part in the destruction of Eregion many, many years ago. Yes, all of the South knew of Sauron's two chosen Southrons, Gan Altan of Khand and Balaknar of Harad. But for all the strength Gan Altan possessed in life, he had but a shade of that in death. Without his loyal Khandish guard and his powerful horses, he was little more than a screaming shadow slithering over the lands, and the death of the Witch King further weakened him. I am told that one moment he was fighting, as best he could, and the next he simply stopped. They said he was like a statue standing amongst them. After a few moments of shock, one of our number hurled a spear at the place that his head should have been, and the cloak was thrown back to reveal nothing. Like the Witch King before him, his death was not marked by any great event. Still, I am troubled. There have been rumours since that time. Of course there have. The lower ranks practically survive on rumours and gossip, and I pay them no heed. But this time, I worry too. I have also seen the reaction my king gives when men come to congratulate him on killing the Witch King. I have seen the same doubt in his eyes that I see in my own mind. What if they are not dead after all? And what if they cannot be killed by our hands? What can we do? What can we do? So says Avradizimir, captain of our Gimmelkad's guard. My Gavan and Melonine, and well met indeed. I'm Arakea Galadirthan, and welcome back to Middle-earth as we continue on as the Ar-Adûnâim. Things are relatively looking up. We defeated the Witch King, of course, and I do hope you enjoyed that little introduction. I had an enjoyable time writing it. So the Witch King is now dead. He died outside of Numenor's glory. And our army is then pressing east to try and capitalise on that as much as possible, but the army that now actually has the most strength, led by Ar-Nozir, is heading south. We've got a strong army there, very strong, holy hell. 3 units of Nardutarek, that's incredible. We're going to try and just stop Mordor's non-stop oppressive spam. And hopefully today we are going to now really gut the strength of Mordor, meaning that by the live stream this coming Saturday, we should be able to finally go to war with Gondor. I think that is now on the cards, if I'm honest, everyone. So we've got that to look forward to. Yes. But for today, I believe we are at an end turn, so I shall have to go ahead and do that, sadly. But yeah, everywhere else, everything's fine. So a few episodes ago, we traded Minas Morgul for Ar-Pharazôn's camp, which is why it's held by Dol Amroth. The AI gets such insane bonuses to their public order that Ar-Pharazôn's camp has been able to be held by Dol Amroth this whole time, despite having very little to no Dunedain culture, which is a real shame. Obviously, we don't share the same culture as Dol Amroth, nor as Gondor. We have our own unique culture. We're one of the only 2 nations in the game that has our own culture, I believe. Does anyone else actually have completely their own religion? I'm trying to think, but I can't think if anyone does. No, I don't think anyone does. I think we're the only ones that do. So when we take over Gondor and Dol Amroth, you might think, brilliant, you'll be able to share their culture, but no, you cannot. Gondorians use Dunedain and we use King's Men. Oh yeah, there you go. Look, I could have shown you. There is one other. There is another. It's the Nomadic. Nomadic is used by Canned only when certain parts of their script trigger. Alright, that invasion is almost absolutely against us, and it's either going to be Numenor's Glory or Karlonde. And it's Erebor. What? That's the only downside with the disconnect between Mordor not actually being a part of the Papal States and thus not calling the invasions themselves. It leads to little oddities like that, where Sauron has had to abandon Mordor. We don't know where he is. We don't know where he's gone. I don't know where Sauron would go if he'd lost Barad-dur. But he's buggered off. And yet from afar, he's called an invasion against Erebor rather than his own capital city. Madness. Anyway, Gimmelzor has now joined the Southern Army, so that's got a bit more weight. And look, they're desperate to stop our Gimmelkad making his march east, but I'm going to carry on. I'd like to try and meet them all in one big battle and get them really cut down. Once Seregost and Morrigost fall, then we've got Thaurband, which is just on the mouth there. I can't remember if it's south or north of the river, but it's here where the river meets the lake. And that's it for Mordor, isn't it? I think then the only other one is Oibamari, because I'm pretty sure all of southern... what is this region called? Nirn. All of southern Nirn is... Thaurband is all contained in that one region, so I think Mordor have only got 5 regions left, and Gelebrin is going to fall now. They are going to fight us when I collect the end turn, so we will have at least one more battle against Mordor. I mean, we'll have probably 3 or 4 more battles against them, but I hope that through this episode and the next, and then the live stream, we should be able to put an end to Mordor's non-stop fighting against us. When did I start this? Oh, about 4 or so minutes ago, that's fine. Oh, I didn't move the scout. Something that I'm going to soft mention now, but I will do a dedicated video about it later in the week, is that in light of my now fully having stepped away from Divide and Conquer, I no longer work on the mod, although I'm writing a little bit of text for them, but that's only just because Finn asked as a personal favour, and I said, yep. And I also no longer moderate the Discord either. So... And I miss the days of having a Discord channel just dedicated to my YouTube channel instead of dedicated to DaC. Because as you know, I set up a Discord channel years ago, absolutely years ago, or rather Ar-Adûnâim did actually, and he's not even around anymore. We set up a Discord for the YouTube channel years ago, and then about 1 year ago, so something like 5 years after I set that Discord up, because it really was ages ago. I was working at the Crown. I was working at the Crown Court when the Discord was set up, because I distinctly remember working on it in the court building, which I always remember that. I don't know why. You have the odd memories of things, don't you? Ah, oh, this bloody beast. Have we got anything that can kill them? Ah, oh, bugger. This battle's going to be harder than I'd hoped. Anyway, so the Discord channel was set up years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, around something like that kind of time frame, maybe even 7. But then only 1 to 1.5 years ago, obviously DaC was kicked off of Total War Center, and I merged my Discord with DaC properly to become the official home of DaC. And obviously since then, there hasn't been a dedicated channel for my dedicated server for my channel, which doesn't matter all that much, but I always thought our Discord was really quite active. There was lots of games being played, which I loved, and I got involved in most of them. We played Soulstorm, Dawn of War, we played Age of Empires a great deal, so much so that it made it onto the channel a fair few times. And then Paradox blossomed as well. There were loads of people that came and played Paradox games. They now have their own Discord server, as I understand it. But there was lots of goings on. And since we became DaC, I don't think those things happen as much anymore. So I thought, balls to it, let's set one up. So I have reinstated the Order of the Swan, as it was once called. And you can find a link down in this description and every description moving forward. But I will do a bespoke video this week to draw more attention to it, to those that haven't seen this video. Right, we need to kill the beasts. Range is going to be necessary to kill the beasts. Kill the beast! The beasts are the only real problem, aren't they? Yeah, because there's only 2 trolls, so I'm not worried about the trolls. It's just the beasts. I want every single archer and crossbowman. I want every man and strong lad able to bear arms to be ready to before battle by nightfall. Oh, I've just pressed play. I meant to zoom in. Oh, I'm all over the place. Right. And I don't really know what to do with you then. We'll send forward like the chaff units. The ones we're really not bothered about. I mean, not that actually any of this army really matters, because this, unless Dol Guldur kicks up a fuss, this is my only reactionary force now that I think about it. And we have got cavalry. Now, we could try and use the cavalry to sort of pin the beasts in place. All right, go for that. Try that, yeah. Get the cavalry forward. Cavalry, just charge into the beasts for now. Oh, well, you haven't done, but you've charged, nevertheless. Right, melee line. Come a bit thinner, move further forward. Archers, though, I don't want you to go too near to the enemy, because the beasts will punch through the line. Right, sprint into positions. General. You guys. Move further up, and that general. Move up. Alright, the beasts are curling around on that right-hand side to hit them, so we're not going to get them with crossbows. But that's not the end of the world. They're going for the Nardu Tariq, interestingly. We're hitting with every archer that we've got. Nardu Tariq, pin them in. Go on, sons. I believe in you. You hold the fate of many onto this battle today. Oh dear, they're dead immediately, aren't they?
Smash the enemy.
Now remember the running through and knocking your units over doesn't actually do very much. Oh, are you set to run away? Don't run away. I would like you to continue trying to target those beasts, though, if I'm honest. Those Black Oak archers are giving us grief, so we'll charge out and hit them. You're not doing anything, so just go and hit those maulers. Let's get you out of there as well. Yeah, archers, keep shooting at them. Just keep trying it. Keep trying it. Territorial guardsmen up against the maulers, but in come the Azuzaya warriors. Not really charging, more sort of strolling. Whatever floats your boat. Right, narrow household, stop that orc host. Crossbowmen, bring down those Black Uruk archers. You can outdo them, surely you can outdo them. You pincer them from that way, they're coming from that way. Those trolls are up against our weakest, that's not too bad. That button, once you start to actually get used to using that button, it really is a game changer. Right, they've massacred our elites, but they're now out in the open. One of them has died. And the more arrows that hit them, every time an arrow hits, there's a chance. They're just going to run along the whole line, killing every archer now, aren't they? Right, what else are we doing? You guys are crossbowing them down. That's killing them off. Nice. You target them as well. Let's get their archers out of the game.
The battle is very much in our favour.
There we are. Now we've created a sort of killing field, and we're no longer in a line. So if they do charge into one, they won't hit them all.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Go on, look how grouped up they are.
Half their men.
Come on, someone bring them down. Look how many arrows are flying into them. Arrows are just not very good against beasts is the problem. They've got such a large hitbox that you'd think arrows would be good. But they're not. They're just not a good way of dealing with them. Everything else is basically dead. Because other than the trolls and the beasts... Well, to be honest, only the beasts. Nothing else in this army is really any good. Move every single melee unit that we have now, though. Go and get involved up there. And bring those crossbows down for me, please. Crossbows, you may be the only thing that can stop this. Because you do armor-piercing damage, which will cut through the ridiculous armor that they've got. Yes, look at that. First volley and one's dead. Second volley and one's dead. And now they're on a rampage. Yeah. Jeez, yeah. Should have just... Well, I mean, you just can't... I suppose I could have put the crossbows in the middle to make sure I could react to wherever the beasts went, couldn't I? I should have done that in hindsight. Yeah, there we are. They're all dead. Right, storm through. Let's end this. They'll waver. It'll be over in a second. We've taken the gate. They're all routing, but when they get back to the middle, they always recoup. It's very annoying. They should know when they're dead.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Victory will be ours. Damn right, victory will be ours. We are the heirs of Númenor. And looking absolutely splendid as well. Fantastic work.
Our men have taken control of the castle.
It's cost us a fair few melee units, but as I say, it really doesn't matter. This is the last Mordor settlement not inside of Mordor, and it's the last Mordor settlement that can give us real grief. These troops can then just be sent back to our main cities and retrained, so...
Be awed by the victory we
any
have won
losses
here
just
today.
didn't matter. Losses just did not matter. But well done, Eldamir. 116, actually. The general got the most kills. That's pretty good. Rosadan Bowman lost loads of them. Just lost so great beasts, man. So, in the Galu's Complete Guide to Killing Great Beasts with your host, me, Galu. Number 1, Siege. Siege is still far and away the best. Ballistae are so effective against great beasts, and catapults are very good. They're a little less accurate, and that does make them fall down a bit. but not enough really, because they have such massive splash damage. So siege, absolute best way to counter great beasts. Number 2, javelins, easily. If you can mount those javelins on horses and run at them, even better, because then the horses can just keep giving them grief and throwing them. But no, number 2, javelins, and then number 3, crossbows. Don't really bother with pikes. Pikes and spearmen do actually get quite considerable buffs against great beasts, because great beasts count technically as elephants, because they are elephants. So the pikes and the spears do well, but the beasts do so much melee damage that they just wreck them. They spend... Any melee unit that goes up against the beast spends most of its time flat on its back, because they get knocked over all the time when fighting against elephants, that they don't end up actually doing all that well. Oh wow, Erebor fell immediately. Here I am wiping out Mordor, and yet the rest of the world apparently is failing. Falling behind completely. Ah, Pelagi, a bit of leatherworker. Well done. You're going to be on the front line soon, Pelagi. But we can take Beruthiel and Fanwelond in swift onslaught, and if we just keep your fingers crossed that Dol Amroth stays with us, and then there's no trouble. Also, we are going to be, of course, taking that fort out. We're not going to let them just sit in behind our lines once we've won.
Yes, my lord.
This tower will keep vigil.
Your orders, my lord.
This tower will keep vigil.
Right, you go that way, and you go into the marshes and build towers in the marshes.
We can go no further, my lord.
Oh, that's nicely done. Well done, all. Can you build a dark shrine? Yep. No, you can't. Can't afford anything.
As you wish.
Oh, and look, the garrison in Numenor's Glory is now massive. We don't need that many people in Numenor's Glory. You should head down and help our Gimmelcard. Definitely you guys. Oh, and you. The rest of you can form a garrison. Gimmelcard then, come back and pick up those. So how many are we going to get? 7 more. You can take 3, so you need to lose 4. 19 of you, 20 of you, 29 of you definitely, and 32 of you. You'll all go. We'll do that in a moment. Mordor just don't have enough forces to feel like they can beat Gimmelcard, so they're just not going to attack him. But all our plans against Gondor could be completely scuffled if Dol Guldur feel like they can actually do something in this game. At the moment, Dol Guldur is content to let us wipe out their ally, but they and Rune both might take exception to what we've done to Mordor. Oh, and they finally did feel like they could beat us. Probably they saw the reinforcements coming and thought, now is our time. Alright, Mordor, I'll divide and conquer your forces, much as the name suggests. Clues in the name, clues in the name. With this army dead, that reinforcement army can move east without fear of being attacked en route. We can then merge our 2 armies into one and then take Seregost and Morgost in, ideally, hopefully, the same turn. Right, they attacked us, which gives us a rare opportunity to stand here and let them come. Those are the Beruthiel's Watch that slew the great Witch King himself. Right, the Ballastai are going to stand there and be ready. Everyone else is then going to move through them to take up positions down there. Put you on the left for now. So pause the battle. Team 1, move forward, form a bit of a line. Team 2, do the same. You don't necessarily need to sprint. We'll send them out onto the left-hand side. And the warriors, I should have put you on the right, sorry. Warriors, you go on the right. And you stay on the left, Gimmelcard, actually, because Gimmelcard is a very powerful fighter, so... Those have just run through our entire archer line. Alright, let's try and get the melee units involved so the archers can have completely free reign to shoot at our enemies. They have got quite a few black uruks in the army, actually. Target those black uruks. Oh, those are black uruk halberdiers. No, try and get a flank on them. Don't fight them, Gimmelcard. Try and get a flank on them. You go and help with those orc maulers. We have killed more of them than they've killed of us. Target those Black Uruk Halberdiers. Target those Black Uruk Halberdiers. Don't worry about shooting the archers. We can get the archers in a moment. No, Gimmelkad hasn't got himself trapped. But they're moving those Black Uruks over to meet him. Alright, he's going to have to fight them then. But they're going to... Oh, no. We got Ar-Adûnâim Armsmen against Halberds. Halberds against Halberds. You've got targets that are right in front of you. Remember, they don't have a general. Alright, target against those orc archers at the back again. Black Uruk Halberds are running away. Are you joking? What we have also got to our advantage, actually, is that our melee forces can all fight when the time is needed. Like right then. Now we've got this. The enemy is breaking. The enemy is already breaking. Burning. Already burning. Bring wood and oil. Damn right. We shall burn the carcass of Mordor.
Only half the enemy force remains.
How are we doing though, bud? They're going to win over there. Yeah, that's no problem. Just got to win these last few melee ones. That's some free shots into the back of those Black Uruks.
Battle seems to be swinging in our favour.
Nice.
From such tidings does victory emerge.
Alright, then you can go back to shooting at the enemy.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Oh, now they've even lost their captain. What a hope they might have had of surviving on what little orcish morale they get has now just completely gone out the window. We've lost an awful lot though. That's basically cost us our entire army. Oh, and the crossbow, the ballista crews are out of arrows. Oh, bolts.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Don't let them skirmish, don't let them skirmish.
The enemy army flees the field.
405, 1,000. That's a good trade-off, but we really don't have a reinforcing army for this one, so arguably not that great. But Gimmelkad took the top spot, 217. Well done, Gimmelkad. But then, no, I don't know, actually, because if we can then get over to Seregost and just lock it down, how many troops realistically can Mordor get from 2 settlements? They can't, can they? Surely they can't. I mean, I say that. I'm just lying to myself. Why do you bring this on yourself, Galip? We all know very well that from a single settlement, the AI can train hordes in a matter of turns. They probably get 5 units trained per turn, meaning that in only 2 turns, they could very likely have 10 units back and ready to go. Now remember, those are trash units, because trash units train in 1 turn. Actual useful units take usually a bare minimum of 2 turns. That's something that we can do in the mod to try and stop the spam. But I mean, if you actually wanted to stop the spam in your own games, the way to do it is make every single unit take at least 2 turns to train, elites take 3, uber units take 4, and then have the delay between them being ready being even longer than it already
Your orders,
is.
my lord.
Which a lot of people wouldn't like, so. Right, let's not just get you guys killed for no reason.
Orders. Yes. Your will, my lord.
And who else is worthy of being retrained? No one really. You might as well just get rid of them then.
Yes, my lord.
Fortunately, that does mean that his army's now just been loaded up with chaff. Oh, 1 unit. Oh, that's good.
Glory, honor,
Well done.
victory.
Your orders, my lord.
Your will,
Yes, my lord.
my lord. Orders.
Right, you try and get back to a Western
As you
Osgiliath,
wish.
where you'll be retrained.
March, my lord.
Oh, and Rohan. Yeah, get to the front, boys.
By your
Yes.
command. Your will, my lord.
Rohirrim peasants. Yeah, you might as well go to the front as well. What the hell? You can then become the garrison force of
By
Seregost.
your command.
Yeah, you'll be the garrison force of Seregost, and you guys just go back to Eastern Osgiliath. Which, when we have enough money, we'll upgrade as well.
Your orders, my lord.
Until that time, we'll continue with our tower building. Dead Marshes is a barren and very unwelcoming and hostile land, but with at least towers on the borders, we can see what goes on within it. I'm leaving him there to make sure that Dol Guldur don't amass forces on our border. Oh, Isengard has just moved past us in terms of progress. It's bizarre that we are the most advanced nation when we hold really very few lands. Really, really few lands. Osgiliath is going to be a bit of a checkpoint as well, I just realised actually, because of Ostithil. Dol Amroth is almost certainly going to side with Gondor.
Your orders.
There is very, very, very little chance that they will side with us. Gondor is almost certainly seen as the bigger, more powerful neighbour. But it depends how Gondor's doing with Isengard. And I don't want a toggle fog of war to cheat to do that. So we'll train a spy and we'll send someone into Western Gondor to find out what's happening over in the long coast of Anfalas. Which, if you haven't been around on the channel for a long time, or you may not already know, Anfalas means long coast. That is its actual translated name. Interestingly as well, Beruthiel I mentioned her at the beginning in the intro, and obviously the crossbowmen are named after Beruthiel, and she's famous for having these cats that she spied on people with, and even more interestingly, she had 9 black cats and 1 white one, and the white cat was charged with spying on the black cats. Which is just bizarre, isn't it? Sometimes little stories like that make you think that Tolkien had planned to go a little bit more fantastical with the story, but then something changed his mind and he brought it back down to be a bit more grounded. But then there's just the odd story like that still survives. Look, I want to disband them. I can't, so you just have to stand next to him for now. But anyway, so she had all these cats that she spied on people with, and she became so loathed and hated that her own husband banished her on a ship. Now, interestingly, she didn't die. It's not said that she died. She sailed back to where she came from, which is south of Numenor, which is very much the implication from Tolkien's writing. She was put on a ship. She wasn't just shafted out to sea on a log boat with a load of cats and off you go die. She was last seen sailing south past Umbar on a ship that had a cat's head on the prow. So she almost certainly didn't die. She made it back to Numenor, not Numenor, but she made it back to the colonies south of Umbar, where the Ar-Adûnâim come from, and just lived out her days, I imagine. It's not really clear either why King Taranon took her as his wife when she was a dark Numenorean to begin with. She intrinsically hated the very people she came to become the queen of. Because the dark Numenorians and the Gondorians did hate one another. They hated one another from the very schism that brought ruin to Numenor. The Gondorians are the descendants of the faithful, and obviously the dark Numenorians are descendants of the king's men. They hate each other. So I don't know why Beruthiel ever took up the role of queen anyway. But what was I starting about Beruthiel with? Because her name is Sindarin and it means angry queen, which means that isn't her real name. So, because there's absolutely no way that a dark Numenorian would take a Sindarin name. And again, this all then lends to my theory that Tolkien came up with this story as a cool little additional side story, as you're doing. Like, you're building this 3,000-year history of a nation, Gondor. You want to throw in these little sparkles of interest, these little side stories that don't have any effect on the plot, but just make it more interesting, just make it exciting. And I think Beruthiel is one of those side stories. But then I imagine then she was written probably fairly early on. Then he took a totally different view on how he was going to do his writings, but never came back to address the Beruthiel story, because by then, why would you? And that's my opinion. That's my opinion of Beruthiel. Because Dark Numenorians would not have had a Sindarin name. They hated the elves in all form. They deliberately changed their name to Ardennaic so as to not have elven names. So she wouldn't have been called Beruthiel. Right, Balak Nar's Sunfire, I believe, might actually be the last Nazgul alive now. Only because I haven't seen any others. Although, is there one in Seregost, actually? Maybe. He outnumbers us nearly 2-1, but it is all chaff. 1 unit of halberds and 40 normal Uruks. The archers obviously are still good archers, but I'm not really worried about archers. I think Balak Nar has archers. Oh no, he is Temple Ward, so he's going to want to get stuck in melee. We've got our 83 arms and we've got Gimel cards. Those are both powerful. And now we have got all these fresh... But our fresh units are all chaff as well. I think what's actually going to stand out here is Azrubel and his Rohirric command. They are going to be pivotal in our battle today. Mordor's greatest weakness is a good cavalry commander. And I think we'll be able to put that on show today by using the Rohirrim to really put him down. Right, we were attacked by the reinforcements. So Balak Nar's coming in from up here, which is a shame because that's a nice little hill. And so the best bet for us is probably to pull to here so that we can fight in this sort of flat area. I think that's where we're going to have to go for. Which means we're going to have to walk backwards. That is the best, isn't it? Yeah, if we're down there, we're down in a dell. Down in Dingley Dell. Now, I think that hill there on the edge of the map is going to be the best place. So go over there. In fact, we could move the entire army over there and worry about setting them up when we're over there.
The enemy have brought up more men.
Yeah, so he's coming in there. He's coming in up on the hill, as expected. And then our cavalry handley is coming in behind us. So let's just get our siege machines set up over there. All of our archers. Oh, those are Lebanon Marines. Oh, nice. I do like Lebanon Marines. They do good service. Is that alright? Yeah, you won't shoot each other. Alright, get involved over there. Right, our Gimel card. Take out that left-hand side. We could just go for a standard sort of box formation, couldn't we? But not sure that we really should. Just chuck that unit in there. Nah, we'll just go for a box formation. There's a lot of the enemy. We've got a long slog-like fight ahead of us, and we need to form a. We need to try and form a sort of wall, so that we can get the most out of our cavalry. Oh, our cavalry's not going to get involved until one unit goes. Ah, right. Sorry, old bean. You're going to go and offer up your life. I feel so sorry and so guilty about what I'm doing. But because of the game mechanics, you, a valuable and valiant soldier of the Ar-Adûnâim, you're about to give your life so that the forces of Rohan can get involved. I genuinely feel a sadness about that I can't really... that I shouldn't feel. It's a game, but that man he's going to his death. Just so that Rohan can get involved. I have faith in you, my friend. You can do it. It might send some disarray amongst their number as well. They might not know what to do with you being so ultra-aggressive. Ballister crew standing ready. Move the archers for a touch further forward. Dun dun. It's closing in. The time is coming. The sun sets on this Rosadan footman's journey, but the time... The sun rises on the future of the Ar-Adûnâim. It's being shot at, which is good. Oh, that's fantastic. Ah, even as a bare minimum then. Get them to waste their arrows on you, yeah. Ah, that's a brilliant use of your time. That's arguably almost better than having the cavalry unit. Yeah, just force them to shoot arrows at you. He's gone. You did well. You did well, nameless footman. We'll remember you. And stepping in his place are the men of Rohan who are loyal to the true sons of Númenor. The Rohirrim come. One company of Rohirrim is all they've been able to spare, but we shall put them to good use nevertheless. Here in the far-flung eastern plains of Mordor, where the black landscape of Gorgoroth gives way to the beauty. Oh, the armsmen aren't in the right place. Armsmen. Armsmen, let's get you to also assist with the flanking procedures of the Rohirrim. Anyway, where the black lands of Gorgoroth give way to the bright and fertile lands of Nirn. Nirn obviously has the Sea of Nirnen in the middle of it, which just means waters of Nirn, really. Nen means water. So added onto the end of the word Nirn, which is a place name, just means like waters of Nirn. Nirn waters kind of thing. Right, our first range shots are going out. Targeting an orc host, interesting. But that's all trash in that frontier, so I'm not worried about any of that. Every single one of you be in defensive mode except for the Cav and except for the Armsmen. Right, Ballast Crews, let's get you to shoot the Black Uruk Archers and let's get you to shoot them early doors. Oh no, look at that. Look at that. He's just standing in the open. Right, they'll probably try and get our cavalry, I think. Also, you don't need to curl as much as you have done, so turn around a bit. Armsmen move up as well.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Come on, Ballister Crews. There it is. And look, all the enemy's just walking through, so we're getting even more kills. Oh, that is just ruinous. Absolutely ruinous. That's brilliant. 49 Temple Wards. Don't know how many they're started with. But it's nice to see the Ballister carving their way through anything. 4 Temple Wards in a single shot if they're lucky. That's brilliant. Oh, how did they already get to you? Did I just time 6 it without realising? Probably. Absolutely the kind of thing I would do. Who did they send against you? Armor and Guardian. They know what they're about. They know what they're about. Send them on a merry chase. Well, why don't you charge into them, actually? Yeah, go on. And you guys, charge into those maulers. Don't give them the satisfaction of charging us. Right, Ballister Crews. Let's turn you back to hitting these Orc Archers. Oh, where are the Uruk Archers? Black Uruk Archers there. There we are. That'll deal mostly with their enemy archer problem. Gondor Infantry, looking very nice in their Ar-Adûnâim colours. With the black and sort of bronzy, or brass kind of colour. Whatever they are, they look good. Right, and they've smashed into them. So now comes the ×6 cavalry command. I don't mind commanding cavalry when there's only one company of them. In fact, I'll command them all day long, son. There's the enemy general, though. Right, front line, you may now all come out of defensive mode. White City will prevail. What's the damage? 1632. Nicely done. Yeah, it's just too much Orc trash. It is just too much Orc trash. They just don't have enough elites in this army to really do anything dangerous to us. Our archers hitting their archers. Right, now we can move the cavalry in to hit that host in the back. That's the plan. Ooh, that was a good charge. Well done. Oh, there's the Temple Wards. There's only 7 left. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What's that over on that right-hand side, though? Why is there a unit keeping pace over there? Black Uruk Halberds and Orc Fighters. Oh, but they're getting peppered by our range. Can you imagine if we got the Nazgul in those charges? That'd just be brilliant. Oh, the Lebanon Marines. I haven't showed you the Lebanon Marines. I haven't showed you the Lebanon Marines. They look very nice in their Ar-Adûnâim colours as well, with the bright red shields. Containing the heraldry of Pelagia still, but... and the wider Lebanon region. 5 waters, Lebanon means. Nen is singular, means water. Nin, from Lebanon, means waters. Right, 5 Temple Wards. Ballister Crews have now finished. The left-hand side of the enemy army is pretty much dead in the water. The right-hand side has a bit of an edge on us. Oh, no, but our armsmen, look at that. Our armsmen have done wonders. Armsmen, pull away from those halberders. The halberdier is arguably Mordor's greatest threat here today. And they've, as yet, they've kept them out of battle. Where is the actual Nazgul? Get a little bit of a charge bonus. Yes! He's gone. Right, that's going to be it. That is going to be it. Because they are... This is weak and pathetic moment now. Because orcs without a Nazgul, with a dead Nazgul, are orcs that will rout at the first sign of trouble. Just you watch. This is now just dart around the map and get all the orcs to run away. Still got some archers left though that have some arrows in there ready to go. He's gone up to hit the archers. Cavalry has paid dearly. Good little charge off there though. Right, how are we doing on the right? Some orc fighters have come back out of... I don't really know where they were, but they've come back.
Only half the enemy force remains.
We're only now just hitting the 50%.
Pursue and run them down.
Oh no, half of the one that started it all off, isn't it? Lakaruk archers have run out of arrows. And now they've run out of willpower. Got some orc maulers over there looking like they might come around the back.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, I was moving with the wrong one. It wasn't Balak Nar that died, it was the bloody captain. Oh, well. Only cost us 50% of our army, that little mistake.
The enemy army flees the field. Pursue
Go on,
and
capture
run
as
them
many as you
down.
can, because if that large group of scouts makes it away, they'll bolster the garrison at Seregost, or whichever one it's called. That was Seregost, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the only like really large army left. There we are.
Our foe is
853,
utterly vanquished.
3,000.
Let all who remember this day
3,000.
remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
389 kills, Ar-Adûnâim armament. Good gods above, those people are vicious. And only 7 of them made it out alive. Oh dear. 245 Rohirrim and 241 Gondor infantry, the big 3. 2 of those, not even our army. They're press gagged into service. It doesn't matter how they've come to serve, the true kings of Gondor. What matters is that they do serve. Serve, defend, lead. Ironically, or not ironically, interestingly, the motto of the Order of the Swan, which you too can join in the Discord down below. Come and play games with us. If you're not sure about joining and you want to learn more, then just wait. This week I'll do a bespoke 5-minute video or something like that about the Discord being set up. But I just wanted to casually drop it in now for those that are looking for something like that. Kill them all. Oh, that was Seregost, of course. Ah, yes, of course. Sorry, orcs.
Glory, honor, victory.
3,318 gold coins.
A most noble
Even
conquest.
after exterminating it, it makes that much money. This is just obscene. But then that has dropped Mordor now down to only 3 regions, isn't it? Oh yeah, Nimrazmir, you can have a wife. I'll allow it. 2,000 gold coins for Seregost. We're the most advanced faction. Karasas built communal farming and is now getting a leather tanner and then some chicken farming. Build what you... Yeah, just try and build everything. Pelargir we could probably do with actually making more militarized because it starts off as a city, which is good enough to already get... Oh, in fact, all 3 tiers of our barracks could be built here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Don't bother with any of that then. So get the trade routes up and running. And then the barracks requires a Great Hall and a High Palace. And you can build the Great Hall now. So get the Great Hall. The roads don't matter as much because it's only this tiny distance here that they affect in terms of speed. So no, get the Great Hall. We'll militarise Pelargir. I should have been doing that ages ago. Getting it ready for Gondor. Alright, so yeah, it's Seregost. There's the Nirn province. And there's the Plateau of Gorgoroth. Yeah. So we've got this one, we've got this whole one in the south, and then they've got Oibamari, and that's it. That's Mordor's last offerings. Other than that, they hold nothing.
By your command.
Your orders, my lord.
My lord. Orders.
Oh, wow. It's...
Yes,
Our Gimmelcad makes it go up by 2 grand. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. We'll build a Dark Sanctuary first, And I'm tempted with the militia garrison.
Your orders. Yes,
Now, what I am going to do is get some towers set up.
This
Because
tower will keep...
Your orders, my
this
lord.
place is a bit more...
Yes, my lord.
We don't want to be ambushed
Splitting
or
our
anything
forces.
here. So
This
try and get some
tower
towers
will
ready.
keep vigil, my lord.
And then if you guys just
As
kind
you
of stand
wish.
by, be ready. Oh, we make 8,000 now. That's crazy. And Moragos is going to rise up and they're going to fight us in the next turn.
Yes.
But the next turn is going to be in the next episode, because that is going to be where I end this one. So very successful indeed. Gelebrin has fallen. The northern border is now safe, unless Dol Guldur have any questionable ideas. The east is now secured with Seregost gone, and another Nazgul has been killed. Moragost will soon fall. I think there might be a Nazgul there, but as you can see, it's a pathetic garrison, and this army is
Your
very,
orders, my lord.
very good. They'll need something really special to beat that army. We've even got Guardians of Kharndum. I do love game bugs sometimes. So they'll take Moragost, then they'll take Thaurband, but we do need to watch out for the Last Stand army, which might now spawn. Mordor's might kick off when they go down below 4 provinces. But we'll have to just wait and see. But for now, and until we speak again, Navar Naden Penamad Melonin, and farewell.